um, I heard this story one time, and it was a story that just fascinated me because, like, I never, like, I'm an American, and I know a lot about history. I know a lot about history, but it's like when I learned this, I was just like, damn, I really don't know history. And it was about 100 so years ago or so, and the communists were taking over Mexico, and like all this stuff was happening. Like all these priests were getting killed by the communists, and then they were just like, just like John the Baptist, getting their heads chopped off, and but gloriously, as a man should. Whatever. And so there was all this stuff happening that I had never known about. I never known about any of this stuff. It's like when I went to college, I went to Catholic college, and it's like, you go to Protestant college, you can go to Catholic college, you can go to Mormon college, you go to atheist college, go to any fucking college you want. Shit. And I didn't understand that, like, oh no, like in Mexico you can't go to a Catholic college, and I'm like, oh, what? That's weird. And so I didn't understand, well, what's going on, and then I learned about all these stories, and there's this one story, and that's what I was made to make this video about. There's one story, and I think he may have been a bishop, maybe, but he was a priest. At least he was a Mexican priest, and all this dramatic shit was happening. I don't know what that dramatic shit was, but he was trying to lead a group of Catholic people to safety. He was trying to lead a group of Catholic people to safety, and they recognized him as their leader, and so he was the one making the decisions. And they came across this one guy who had this one information, right? And he said this information. He was like, hey, these guys over here, yada yada yada, and yada yada yada, and yada yada, and they're going to be here, and they're not going to be here, right? And so the place that they're not going to be is the place that they are going to be, because this guy's a betrayer, and that's what this guy knew. That's what this guy knew. And so what he did was, and because like I heard about it because like he was giving an interview in America, and like all these American like journalists were like really interested in his story, because it's like this guy knew that he was leading them into a trap. This priest, who may have been a bishop, but this priest who may have been a bishop, he was the leader, and this one informant knew that shit. There may have been a fake leader here or there, as shit happens, but like this is like fucking real Game of Thrones type shit happening right now, regardless of the titles. And it's like, damn, this guy, he's like, oh my, it's like, repent and be saved, man. Fuck. And so that's what this guy did. Repent and be saved, because it's like before this guy even had to speak, the priest knew the answer. Before this guy even had to speak, the priest knew the answer. And it's like he knew that. But like he couldn't acknowledge that he knew that, because it was all just a secret mind fuck that this guy was doing with him. He was just like, and he turned a gun on him. That's what he did. Like this priest was, he had this prisoner there, and this priest was talking to a prisoner, and they were at the table, and on this table was a gun, and he just started playing with this gun, and he just started pointing it at him. That's what I heard. I don't know. I could be embellishing. But that was the spirit of what was happening. Because this gangster was scared. This gangster was scared. And he went with the winning side. It's all about being antsy. It's all about being antsy. It's all about being both priest and king. And I'm on my sabbatical, so right now I'm only priest. I'm not a king. I'm weak. Damn, I'm so fucking weak right now. I'm not a king at all right now. I'm 130 nothing. Like my normal body weight is like 170, but I'm like one in the 130s. But I'm 170 without muscle, so if I get muscle on me, then I'm fucking 180, 190. It's all about being antsy, man. Fuck. That's what every man and woman and child should be. It's both priest and king. But you know what? Fucking lifting priestly weights is fucking way more tiring than lifting man weights. Shit. That's why, like, I made this video recently about Mike Menser, and it was like, I was listening to this guy, and he used to be a student in Mike Menser's. Like, Mike Menser, like, got depressed because, like, all these men were just fucking themselves over and being stupid bitches, And he loved America, he did. And he was just so sad to see all these stupid American bitches. And like, he started doing all these drugs, and this guy who had been his student saw him, and he was like, this guy's doing all these drugs. Like, this guy's doing all these drugs. Like, like, I recently learned that in Hebrew, the word for snake is also the word for accuser. Right? The word for snake is also the word for accuser. And that's what this guy was doing to Mike Menser. He was like, this guy, he's using all these drugs. And this guy used to be such an icon. Like, he was an Olympian. And now he's doing all these drugs, and he's sick, and he's sad, and I'm sad for him. And me. It's like, fuck you, bitch. It's like, Mike Menser was at his most glorious when he was a drugged out motherfucker. Hell yeah. Fuck yeah. Here's to the fucking homies. Fuck yeah.